Oh, what's going on, guys? So, yeah, I'm in my third year of med school. On my surgery rotation, I'm just taking a study break. So, this is our main book. This is mainly for internal medicine, but I got it. And right now, we have like questions we have to do every week. So, basically, most of the answers are in here. And then here's like kind of a Word document I'm typing up for our weekly assignments. So they all come out of here, out of the Christian De Virgilio book. So it's a pretty good book. It's all like cases and stuff like that. And then under the cases, they talk about the disease, differential diagnosis, all that cool stuff. So really awesome book. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and start typing. I usually just like to talk about something because I re-upload these later, so I don't want like a big moment of silence or something before I start. So yeah, how are you guys doing? What's everyone up to? Today's Labor Day, so hopefully you guys are enjoying your weekend and doing something fun. What's up, Christian? How's it going? So yeah, I actually got lucky. Normally on what's up, Austin? Normally on surgery we have to work weekends. So currently there's 3 med students on my team, so we split up the weekends between med students. And I got lucky this weekend because we had a student on trauma call, so he had to be there all weekend anyways. And then we got Labor Day off of surgery, so that was really nice. So I got all 3 days off, but I probably won't get that break anytime soon. Am I becoming a surgeon? I don't know yet. That's kind of what I initially wanted to do when I started med school, but now I found out I really value my free time and surgery. I mean, you can still have a lot of free time during surgery, but kind of depending on what you do, you may or may not have that free time. So I'm not sure yet. What's up, Pablo? Good to see you. What's up, Hannah? Hey, Jessica. So, yeah, I guess maybe I'll just. Am I still interested in ortho? I think yes, in that I really like what they do, but not so much as in the hours anymore. I kind of thought initially like I wouldn't mind the hours and stuff like that, but kind of after taking step one, I realized that I don't know if that's something for me, just because of the big time commitment. So I'm still interested, but I'm gonna keep my mind open. Um, Step one was okay. It's kind of a big ordeal. So I'll make a whole entire video, kind of talking about what happened with step one and all that stuff like that. So when I have time, I will make that video and I'll upload it. Right now, surgery is pretty crazy, just because I'm there like 13 hours a day and then we only have 1 day off. So when I get to it, I will definitely upload it. Edwin asked how to deal with loose skin after major weight loss. That's pretty hard. Usually your skin doesn't retract fully. So that's just something you have to either live with or have surgery for. If you've had like extreme weight loss, like 100, 200 pounds of weight loss, then you can, if it's anything less than that, then usually your skin goes back to normal. What's up, Blair? I appreciate it. Can you work part-time as a doctor? So when you start out, you can't. You have to obviously finish med school, then you go to residency, which is basically like super cheap labor. You're a doctor, but you're working at a significantly, you're getting paid significantly less, and you work more hours. So you do that for about 3 to 5 years, and then after that, you generally don't work part-time because you're trying to establish your practice and get everything going. So it takes a long time before you can practice as a part-time doctor. What's up, Jerry? What books do I read? Are you talking about like for surgery or just in general? I don't really read books in general. Yes, I am alive. Shaban? I don't know if I said that right. You're also MD3 and in your surgery rotation. That is awesome. I try not to disclose my med school, just for privacy reasons. actually, before you start your third year, I don't know if most schools do this, but my school definitely tried to get us to keep like a smaller social media presence. But it's understandable because a lot of patients you see will be looking me up after I see them in the clinic. So you definitely want to keep a lot of personal information private. Um, but yeah, so what is my favorite compound exercise? I'd have to say it's either squatting or benching are probably my favorites. Um, what was my GPA going into med school applications? I think I made a whole entire video on this, but I think my overall GPA was like a 3.68 and my science was a 3.64. So not that great, but it was good enough. Um, you are a 6th-year medical student in Japan. Oh, that's awesome. I'm not really sure how med school is in Japan, but I'm sure it's very hard. And we don't have 6 years of med school in the United States. It's only 4. Some schools are actually, I guess some schools are 6 years in that you do undergrad and med school combined. So I think it's like 2 years of undergrad and then 4 years of med school. Do I feel like med school was worth the time so far? Yeah, I think so. I mean, second year is definitely way more intense than first year. Third year is just as intense, but you're doing actually like meaningful work instead of studying through a book all day. So that's a really nice change of pace. But yeah, so far I feel like it's been worth it, and hopefully, hopefully I feel like that after I graduate. How can you overcome a low MCAT? So you have a couple options. You can either retake the MCAT, which you probably don't want to do unless you have a really, really low or borderline score. Or you can just apply broadly. Just stick with the score you have and apply broadly, and hopefully you have other things on your application that really stand out. That's kind of what I did. I didn't have a great MCAT, and I just applied basically everywhere. And I got a lot more interview invites, a lot more acceptances than I thought I would. So just apply broadly. You never know what happens. Hats off to you on how you manage your time as a med student, workout, love life, and YouTube. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Do I have rotations yet? Yeah, so I'm currently on surgery. Surgery is an 8-week rotation, and then within those 8 weeks, we have like subspecialties, or they call them services. So right now I'm on surgery oncology. So I'm going to be starting my 2nd week of that. And then after that, I'm in plastic surgery. And then after that, I'm in, what am I in? I'm in vascular surgery. And then after vascular, I'm in thoracic surgery. So that'll be all my 8 weeks of surgery. And then, yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. Let's see. Here in Finland, you have 7 years of med school. You go straight from high school to med school. Yeah, there's a couple of programs like that here, but it's very uncommon. Can I help you managing time for a workout study? Yeah, I'll try to make a more detailed video on that in the future. So I already said I'm rotating on surgery right now, and specifically surgery oncology. When is the wedding? So we actually finally booked a date and a venue, so it'll be June 30th of next year, 2019. Are DO docs as respected as MD docs? Yeah, for the most part. I mean, there's still maybe like some areas or some older MDs who may not really respect DOs, but I haven't really, like, I go to an MD school and I have seen DO students rotate at my school, and I haven't noticed any difference. So I think it's kind of, that whole DO-MD thing is kind of dying down. What do I mean by other things other than your MCAT score when applying? So I'm talking about like, obviously your GPA, your other experiences. So like my experiences were Division I gymnastics and working as an ER tech. So those are the kind of things I'm talking about. What am I thinking of doing? Thoughts of video for each of your rotations? Am I thinking? Okay, so yeah, I definitely want to do a video over all of my rotations. And obviously I would like to vlog a day in the life while I'm on that rotation. But right now I'm just trying to get adjusted. I'm trying to figure out the swing of things. And once I feel like I kind of have the hang of surgery right now, so maybe I'll start recording a little bit. The editing is going to be the hardest part because for me that takes a lot of time. And I like to make things interesting. I like to make cool edits for you guys. So hopefully the editing might be watered down a little bit, but I'll try to get those videos up for you guys. How far is my girlfriend into nursing school? So we're actually engaged now with so I guess technically my fiance, but she will be finishing in December. So she's almost done. Do I know Dr. Mike's YouTube channel? Yep, I've seen his channel. Are you going to competing again in future? If you're talking about men's physique or any kind of bodybuilding, not in the near future, just because it's really hard to diet down and get to a stage ready physique while in med school or while in residency. So yeah, so probably not anytime soon. Do I think it's difficult for foreign doctors to get chances to work in the US as surgeon? It's definitely difficult, but it's not impossible. There are more hoops you have to jump through as a foreign student or as an IMG, but it's not impossible. What are my thoughts on the keto diet? It's definitely not for everyone, and it shouldn't be like your first resort. So if you're trying to do keto, I would try a different diet first. I think keto is really good. Well, not really good, but keto is beneficial for diabetics, I think, especially because they can't have a ton of glucose in their system. So, like my aunt, she's diabetic and she's on keto right now, and she's seen a lot of progress with it. So I think that's really helpful. But for the general population, I don't think it's that great. I think just counting your macros, doing the general diet, sticking to that is a lot better than doing keto. What's the best advice for getting back into the studying grind after summer? So really try to, I'm assuming summer's already over for the majority of people, but if you can kind of just like look at all your class materials, start reading up on some things before you start school, I think that really helps a lot because it is really hard to get back in the swing of things. So kind of slowly ramping up your hours of studying. And if you can do that before you start, that's really awesome. So that's my best advice. How am I studying for rotations and step 2? So right now, during surgery, our day is like, so we wake up, we pre-round, meaning we see all of our patients that are inpatients before the residents do. So I'll get there at 5, I will pre-round, basically get all the vitals, see all the changes that happen to the patient overnight. And then like about 6:30-ish, 6 or 6:30, we'll round with the residents. So then we'll go see each patient again. I'll do a report, kind of say what's changed overnight. And then after that, we scrub into surgeries. So depending on the service, the surgeries can either last all day or surgery can be done at 12. So right now, we're typically done with surgeries around noon. And then after that, I have a little bit of time to study. So we have like a team room, a break room, and I'll just bring my book or do some questions, some practice questions, and during that an hour or so. And then we will do afternoon rounds with the residents again, and sometimes the attending physician comes to those as well. And then after that, we go home, study, and then go to sleep really, really early. So to answer that, I'm kind of just like reading a couple books and then doing practice questions. So let's see here. Do I think limiting myself by not applying MD and going strictly DO? I would apply to your state schools, your state MDs, just because you never really know. And state MDs have to take, I think it's like either 90% or 80% in-state students. So definitely apply to those because you never know what will happen. And then yeah, when you apply broadly, when you apply out of state, definitely I would limit it more to DO schools. What's up, Raja? Is it harder to be accepted into the 6-year med school, and is it worth it? I don't really know too much about about those programs. It is worth it if you know you want to do med school, because if you're like halfway through it and you don't want to do med school, then you're kind of, you have to start all over. So it's kind of a waste of time. Thank you. I appreciate that. You enjoy the content and wish you the best of luck in my marriage and career. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. What do I think about physiotherapy as a career option? If you like it, you should do it. I think it's great if you're passionate about it. Am I a hard gainer, and what's the best advice for that? So no, I'm not a hard gainer. I gain weight pretty easily. If you are, then it just means that you have to just increase your calories and make sure you're drinking calories as well. So if you maybe, instead of like only drinking water, maybe throw in juice or Gatorade or something with caloric value, more smoothies, maybe not so many really dense foods, like a giant bowl of oatmeal might not be the best thing for you because it's really filling. So try to get foods that you really, really like, and then try to drink your calories as well. What is my best advice to count macros? I would say track everything on MyFitnessPal, and then the more consistent you are throughout the day or throughout your diet or whatever, the easier it is. So if you eat the same foods every single day, it's a lot easier to count. But obviously we count because we like to have variance in our diet. So a little bit of variance makes counting easier, but obviously the same foods, the more of the same foods you eat every day, the easier it is. Have I ever seen any of Barbell Medicine's content? I actually have not seen any of Barbell Medicine's content. I will write that down and check them out. All right, there's a good amount of people in here, so I'm going to give away some points, some Ghost Lifestyle points. So if you guys don't know, these points, if you get enough points, you get free products and stuff like that. So really awesome opportunity for you guys to get some free stuff. So the first code is Taco Sushi Bounce Bounce. Taco Sushi Bounce Bounce. So this is 500 points right here. And then I will be giving away another 500 points here in a little bit. So Taco Sushi Bounce Bounce. All right. If you guys didn't get that, let me know, comment down below, but hopefully someone got those words. Let's see. YouTube missed me. Thank you. I appreciate that. If I wasn't in med school, what would I be doing instead? Probably, I don't know, I'd probably just be doing YouTube or working towards a different goal. I'm not really sure. I don't know, because mainly my YouTube channel is a lot about medicine now. So I'd definitely still be doing fitness. I'd probably maybe be, I don't know, just trying to grow that business a lot more. Finally. Hey Jay, I'm starting med school on January. Any tips? Enjoy your time off now, because once you start, you're not going to have a lot of time. So don't stress out too much about med school. You'll have plenty of time to study and get everything done. Just enjoy your free time now. Trust me, enjoy it. Why didn't I make YouTube videos? I thought you thought I deleted my channel. Well, I was really busy studying for step 1, and then I wanted to kind of relax after I took my exam and spend time with my family, just because I hadn't seen them in 8 months. And then I wanted to start off rotations on a good note, not be too stressed with YouTube. So that's why I haven't made any videos recently. But I do plan on it. I'm not quitting or anything like that. So yeah, you guys don't have to worry. What's the best way to burn fat at the gym? Best way to burn fat is a high intensity workout. I mean, the more calories you can burn in the gym, then the more fat you will burn, as long as you're in a caloric deficit. And it doesn't necessarily have to be high intensity. I mean, you can be lifting heavy with long rests. It's all really about your net caloric difference. Let's see. Sorry, scrolling through comments here. When do med students take USMLE step 1, step 2, get matched, and then take step 3? Okay, so you take step 1. Some programs are a little different, but most med schools, you take step 1 after your second year of med school. So you finish all your preclinical years, At the end of second year, you take step one, then you start your rotations. Some schools do have you start your rotations and take step one during your third year rotations, but that's usually not the case. And then you take step two about a year after your third year or beginning of fourth year. It's kind of variable on when you take it. Not everyone has to take it at the same time. And then step three, you take sometime in residency. I just don't know when exactly. I think it's definitely within the first year. So, all right. Sorry, scrolling through comments here. You have good A levels and good UK CAT. Sorry, I'm not too sure about the UK application, but if you have good scores, then I think you should still apply. What resources am I using for rotations and shelf exams? So for surgery, I'm using this book here. It's the Dave Virgilio surgery book. And then if I have time, I'm going to read a few chapters out of this Step Up to Medicine. This is mainly for internal medicine. And then I have another book. It's Dr. Pistana's notes. So I'm going to read that. And then I have, I bought UWorld for step 2. So I'm going to be doing that. And then another resource, how do I flip this again? Oh yeah. Another resource is Amboss. So I'm trying out Amboss. It's basically like UWorld except a lot more detailed. And you can like click things and it'll like bring up everything you need to know on the side here. So pretty cool resource actually. I think it's fairly new, maybe not, or fairly new for the United States at least. So yeah, those are the things I'm using right now. Sorry, scrolling through comments here again. Let's see. So those are the resources I'm using. How am I balancing the difficult schedule of surgery rotation with going to the gym? It's actually pretty hard. I think there were 2 days that I didn't go to the gym. I literally like came home, fell asleep because I couldn't stay awake, and then studied a little bit and then went back to bed. So it's definitely a lot harder than the first 2 years, but it's not impossible. Usually if I go to the gym as soon as I get back, then it's a lot easier, just because I'm already awake. And as long as I don't fall asleep, then I have time to go to the gym. You're gonna use this to procrastinate. Thanks, Carlos. Ophthalmology or orthopedics, which one do I think is a better specialty? It really depends on what you like doing. I feel like they're pretty different. So I would shadow both or rotate in both and see what you like better. How was second year of med school? It was pretty bad. It was definitely not as fun as first year. How did I study for OChem in undergrad? Lots and lots of practice questions. That was definitely the best way to learn that. What happens if you fail a year in med school? Do they kick you out? I'm not sure about every program, but our school, we have a policy. So if you fail a class, you retake the final at the end of the year. And if you fail that, then they make you repeat the entire year. Or if you fail 2 classes, then you repeat the entire year. So after that, you cannot fail anything again, otherwise you get kicked out. So I think that's it. Or it's more of like a 3-strike. I can't remember the exact policy, but it's something along those lines. And if you repeat a year, then you graduate in 5 years instead of 4. Let's see. How different, oh, sorry. Still scrolling through comments here. In retrospect, what regrets do I have? Mistakes that I made during the med school application process. I would say I applied a little bit too broadly. I think I wasted a lot of money on there. Maybe doing more research on the MD schools. So I didn't spend as much time applying to those as I should have, or as much money. And then also some of the DO schools as well. So really do your research before you apply instead of just like throwing money to all these schools. How do I think my life is going to change when I start residency? It'll be very, very busy and I'll have not a lot of free time. Did I make my own schedule for step 1 or is there one online that I followed? Yeah, so I actually, I did make my own schedule, but I kind of took it from Med School Insiders or Dr. Kevin Jabal, I used his step one schedule and kind of tailored it to my schedule. How different are the clinical years from basic science years? They're a lot different. So basic science years, I mean, you have very little patient interaction. You're in the books all the time. It's pretty boring. But clinical years is a lot more exciting. You know, everything you've learned, you're actually applying. So it makes it easier to remember. It makes it more fun to remember. You're actually dealing with patients. You're talking to people. So it's a lot more exciting. A lot more busy, and your schedule is not as flexible, but I think it's worth it. How can you lose fat and tone your body without being able to hit the gym? You just have to watch what you eat. If you can't hit the gym, maybe whatever you're doing, try to walk more, increase your steps, go take the stairs instead of the elevator, things like that, and definitely watch your diet. So this person is asking, how was step one? What was my score? I won't be sharing my score just because I know that there are some of my classmates who watch my videos, so I will not be sharing my score. But it was okay. Could have been better, of course, but we'll just leave it at that. How many times did I go through UWorld? Technically about like 2.5. So I used UWorld during my second year of med school. So if I was if I was doing reproduction for my second year, I was going through reproduction questions on UWorld. And then once I started dedicated time, I reset my UWorld. I went through it all again, and I still felt like I wasn't ready. And then so I delayed my step one, and then I didn't reset UWorld, but I marked all the questions. So that way I just went through and did not all 2,400 questions, but I think I did close to that. So some questions I went over 3 times, and then the majority of them I went through twice. Sorry guys, I'm kind of behind on questions, so I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just trying to answer everyone's question here. Okay, I answered that. What happens if you don't get the specialty you want? Then you just have to be open about, you know, what your possibilities are, and kind of accept where you are, and try to make the most out of what you can do. You want to gain muscle, but you also like running a 15K every day. So that won't kill your gains. It definitely won't kill your gains, but you just have to eat a lot more, because a typical bodybuilder doesn't run a 15K every day. So definitely you'll have to up your calories. Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it. Do I use an app to schedule my tasks? No, I do not. How hard is the steps compared to the MCAT? It is way harder than the MCAT. Yes, I did hear Amboss is the #1 exam prep tool in Germany. That's why I said it's kind of new in the US, but I know they have a really good reputation in Germany. What's up, Tommy? What's it called? Amboss. So AMBOSS. Yeah, it's like a website like UWorld. What's my opinion on a career in pharmacy? If you like it, then you should do it. Do I write a to-do list for each day? Usually I don't, but sometimes if I'm really, really busy, then I will. Hey man, just want to say thanks for all my videos. I appreciate it, Daniel. You're a third and fourth year, and oh, sorry. Okay, you're just agreeing with me. All right. Some of my family members who are doctors are saying that you absolutely have no time for hobbies and stuff. To which extent is that true? As a doctor, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I would say the majority of that's not true. I mean, your third year med school, your second and third year, you'll have not a ton of free time. So it's definitely hard that your second and third year and the beginning of your fourth year. How am I doing so far in school? It's only been my first week, so kind of hard to tell, but hopefully I'm doing good. How has my nutrition changed based on what I've learned in med school? It actually hasn't changed a ton from what I've learned in med school. It has changed from kind of my own research on what I've done in before I started med school. Here's a very important question. Do those biceps fit in the scrubs? Yeah, they fit in the scrubs. It's a little tight. I'm thinking about sizing my scrubs up, but yeah, they fit. Hit the like button, guys. I appreciate that. What med school do I go to? Did I consider pharmacy school? So I don't publicly share my med school, but I never really considered pharmacy school just because, I don't know, I didn't like the drugs that much to just do that as my main job. What specialty would I opt for and why? Still kind of struggling with that. I know I did say like ortho a lot in the first 2 years, but as I said, I kind of enjoy my free. I've learned to really enjoy my free time and not take it for granted. So ortho, you don't get a ton of free time, especially in the beginning years. So that's kind of deterred me kind of from any surgery specialty, but it's still something that I really like. So I'm looking into other things, and I'm not sure yet. What will I buy with my first doctor paycheck? I'm not sure. I haven't. That's a long ways away. So, Shimo says, "Hey EJ, I used to take Muscle Tech Nitro Tech Whey Protein, which contains 3 grams of creatine and 30 grams of protein per scoop. You did a blood test and you had high creatinine levels. So yes, you actually will have high creatinine levels because that is a. I'm pretty sure, if I remember this correctly, creatinine is a byproduct of creatine. So if you take more creatine, then you're going, yeah. So creatinine is a breakdown product of creatine phosphate. So if you take more creatine, you're going to have a naturally elevated creatinine level. That's only because you're taking more creatine. It's not because your kidney function is impaired or anything like that. So you will have like a falsely elevated creatinine level. How many hours on average do I study a day? Right now, not a ton, just because I'm seeing patients like the majority of the day. So I'd say anywhere from like 2 to 4 hours a day right now. What's up, Rudra? Let's see. Probably start taking chips at the 300K debt. Anyone watch Tom Clancy? I have not seen that. How important do I think research is for pre-meds? I did no research, so I don't know if that means anything to you guys, but it's important. But if you can do it, you should do it, but I just didn't have time. I've been good, thank you. How do you approach UWorld questions, and do you annotate anywhere? So for UWorld, for like step 1, what I would do is I would actually kind of like, I would read the last sentence of the question, because sometimes they'll give you a vignette and then just say like, what's the mechanism of this drug? So everything you read was just a waste of time. So I'll read the last sentence of the question, I will kind of skim the answers really quick, and then read the question. So that way I know what I'm looking for in the STEM, instead of reading the STEM and getting sidetracked by all these vitals or all these complaints. And then if they ask like a basic question like that, then I wouldn't have wasted my time or my energy looking at all the other distractors in the STEM. So why doctor and not nurse or PA? I don't really like, this kind of sounds, I guess like, I don't really like people telling me what to do. So, you know, as a nurse or a PA, like, you're still going to have that. As a doctor, you're still going to have that as well. But I just wanted the most control possible over patient care. So that's why I chose that. Let's see. Hey, you're a medical student as well. How many lectures do I do a day? You feel so tired after working out. We don't have lectures anymore, so it's kind of just self-study. Thanks for the recommendation, Daniel. Are high protein diets bad for you? What about red meat? It depends. You can't really make a general statement. It really depends on your health. So there are certain people, like if you have impaired kidney function, then a high protein diet may not be the best for you. And it's not that high protein causes impaired kidney function. It's if you already have impaired kidney function from something else, then a high protein diet might not be the best for you. Any plan to compete in bodybuilding? No, not anytime soon right now. I just want to stay in shape. stay healthy, take care of my body to the best of my abilities while going through med school, especially this third and fourth year. You're studying for the MCAT and the first practice questions, you do horrible, or even if it's right after I read the chapter, was it like you, yeah, I mean, whenever you start, like I'm starting practice questions for step 2 right now and I'm doing bad, so when I started them for step 1, I did bad. When I started them for the MCAT, I did bad. So it just takes time, it takes practice. Is it safe to take whey protein considering that you have a strong family history of early onset complete renal failure and your creatinine is fine for now? I would definitely, get regular labs. As long as your kidney function is fine, whey protein should not be bad at all. And it shouldn't decrease, or it shouldn't speed up the process of kidney failure. What do you need most in med school of biology, chemistry, physics, or math? You need the most of biology and chemistry. And then physics or math a little bit, but not a ton. I have seen some nurses go from nursing to med school. I wouldn't recommend it. But if that's the path, if you do nursing and decide you don't like it, then definitely go for med school. It's just a little bit slower, that's all. What's the age range of my class? I would say the majority of students took about 1 to 2 years off of med school, in between undergrad and med school. I'd say the majority of students did that. Some students went straight through, and then there's actually quite a big handful of students who did a different career and then went to med school. So we have a few students who are 40 years and up, or even in their 30s. So it's pretty common. Let's see. Did I look up the Vein Viewer? No, I have not. What's my favorite pre-workout drink? Right now it is Ghost's Sour Green Apple Warheads collab Legend. So that's my favorite one right now. The green apple is awesome. My old favorite was the sour watermelon. Sorry, sour watermelon, but now it's green apple. What keeps me going in med school knowing I still have a long way to go? So actually 2 years is not that, I'm already over halfway done. So that's definitely motivating. And then also the massive amount of debt I have is also very motivating. What is my Myers-Briggs? I'm Googling that real quick. I don't know. I've never taken that test, so I'll have to take that. Let's see. What's up, Gino? If I took the MCAT today, do I think I would kill it? Probably not. There's a lot of basic science, basic chemistry that I forgot. Did I take a gap year? Yeah, I took two gap years technically. Would I rather have my head in the size of a watermelon? I'd rather have my head be the size of a watermelon, I guess. Let's see. Thank you, little puppy. What's up, Maurice? What's my favorite study spot? Room, living room, library? Definitely the library. I get the most done there, but I study a lot in my office or spare bedroom. This is my office spare bedroom. As you can see, there's a bed back there. Advice on staying motivated throughout med school. Yeah, you get long periods of depression. You can't seem to manage it. Yeah, it is hard. It can be depressing just because you're spending so many hours dedicating to this without seeing very little return. So it is hard, and I would say, I would say still do the things you love if you can. Talk to your family, talk to your friends, and just try to keep other aspects of your life alive. And I think that's the best way to kind of manage the hard parts about medicine. Do I take any nootropics? Are there something I would recommend? No, I know that some of the Ghost supplements do have them in them, like the aminos, and I do take those, but I don't really take it for the nootropics. I take it more for the hydration aspect. So short answer, not really. What's the least favorite part about med school? It would just probably be the time commitment and how much material there is. There's a lot of material. I appreciate it, Chisholm. Didn't med school used to be just 3 years? I'm not sure. Maybe it was a long time ago, but it's been 4 years for a while now. What book do I use for OBGYN? I'm not sure yet. That's my very last rotation of the 3rd year, so when I get there, I will let you guys know. Have I heard about Online Med Ed? Yes, that's another resource that I have been using. It's really good. It's a good like overview, but it's not like super detailed. It's really good. Like he has like good algorithms or like good systematic ways of thinking through things or how to treat patients, but it's definitely just kind of like a brief overview. It's a good foundation. Let's see. What field of work do I want to go in or are in? I'm not sure yet. Right now I'm just doing rotations. Do I have any interview tips for med school? Yeah, I have a whole video on that actually. So I will pull it up here real quick. But yeah, there's a whole video on my YouTube channel for the med school interview. Let's see, I'm gonna answer a couple more questions here and then get back to studying. What year is my favorite year in med school and why? So far, my first year, just because it was really exciting, it was brand new, it was interesting, and you still had a lot of free time. So that was my favorite so far. 3rd year, I think, is gonna be the most useful. I'll probably be really tired, but right now it's really fun. Sorry if the camera's moving a lot. I'm scrolling through questions here. Let's see. Which year is... Okay, I answered that. All right. One more question. How do you balance fitness and study? So, if you're a student, that's your main priority. Studying is your main priority, but you can't do it forever. I mean, you can't study all day and not take a break. At least study efficiently. So when you're feeling like your focus is falling off, if you're not studying as efficiently as you were in the beginning of the day, take a break, and your break should be working out. I know some people scroll through social media, some people play video games. If you stay on track and just go straight to the gym, then that's how you get your workout in. Also, if you guys are interested, I'm thinking about making EJ Fitness shirts. This is just a sample. This is not the final thing. But if you guys are interested in this, I'm going to post them on my YouTube channel through Teespring for really cheap. Probably like under $20. I haven't looked at the exact price range yet. But if you guys are interested in these, definitely let me know. But yeah, I'm going to keep them really affordable for you guys so you can wear them, rep the channel, all that stuff. But yeah, follow me on Instagram because I'm the most active on there, and I'll definitely post when the t-shirts go live on Instagram. And I'll try to post something on the community page of my YouTube channel. So yeah, on camera the t-shirt is backwards. Yeah, I'll take a picture on Instagram, post it on Instagram. Right now the logo is way too big. I'm gonna keep it like this big right here. So it's gonna shrink down the logo a little bit. But yes, if you wear the t-shirts, yes, your biceps will look like mine. I'm just kidding. All right, so yeah, guys, stay on the lookout for these t-shirts, and want to appreciate you guys for staying subscribed to my channel. I know I haven't uploaded in a really long time, but thank you guys. Thank you for all of your understanding. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.